Folks, the late, great Tom Petty once said, "I won't back down." That is going to be the story of this race here tonight for the Fastenal Winter Series, the last race before we go into the playoffs next week at Atlanta. And who is going to be the one that does not back down here at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway? Like I said, it is all come down to this right here. Who's going to be able to make it in to the playoffs? Who's going to be able to make it in that playoff race next week at Old Atlanta here in the Fastenal Winter Series? Good evening, folks. I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Got our great friends in here, Dakota Wilson up here in the house, as well as Chuck Phelps here in the booth. And, of course, our fabulous producer, Eddie Smith, going to be giving you all these basically kick-ass camera angles you see right now on your screen. You see it, all these crazy cool camera angles. You even see a jet flying in back there going into turn 1 and 2. That's pretty cool right there. But anyway, Dakota, I'm telling you, man, this place right here, you always get the goosebumps every time you want to come to Daytona.
Yeah, first off, I want to say, it's good to be back. I kind of broke out of the booth to go run Knoxville last week, so that was a fun time. But I'm back where I belong, this week, and it's going to be interesting to see how these guys transfer from slinging it sideways 4 wide on the dirt to trying to keep them 3 wide in a straight line going around Daytona.
Yeah, boy, I cannot wait. I'm already actually watching. Good Lord. I'm actually watching some qualifying right now. Somebody just T-boned the turn 1 wall, so it's going to be a fun one to try to see who's going to be able to try to keep it straight. And Chuck, I mean, I'm telling you, man, you come so close not too long ago to being or to trying to be able to get out there and win on a super speedway. But there you see the schedule. Tell everybody about what we got going on here tonight and also what to look forward to next week.
Well, this round has been amazing. We had a 2-mile track that we went and slung some dirt. And here we are, the final race for the championship with the wild card at the super speedway. It's been a great selection of tracks. Kudos to Progar and the admins, because kind of had 2 wild cards there, different extremes, going from slinging dirt in Knoxville to the World Center Racing here at Daytona. And it is, in my opinion, going to be a wild card. It's the last one before we get to Old Atlanta next week. Want to stress that. It's going to be Old Atlanta. So you're right. You started it off. Nobody's going to back down. They want to get to the big show 2 weeks from tonight. And I haven't seen quite the points yet. That'll be coming up next. But it's so tight. So going to be tight racing, tight points. It's going to come down to the end.
Absolutely, it is going to come down to the end. And there you see right there, Daytona International Speedway. I've had the pleasure of, going to a race here at this facility. I mean, what an amazing atmosphere all the way around this bad boy. I'm telling you, there you see it, the capacity. 168,000. We'll go ahead and give or take that right there, because I'm pretty sure there's a couple people out there in the parking lot that had to try to file in, maybe even try to sneak in to see this race here tonight, because it's a hot ticket, guys. It really is a hot ticket here for this track. 2.5 miles in length, 31 degrees of banking in the turns. That's when these guys right here, they're going to be able to hold it wide open all the way around this place. The only time they're going to be lifting is to make sure they don't run somebody over, because they get a good enough run. Either that or they got a hellacious wreck in front of them, and the only thing they can do is hit the brakes and try to back off of it. But awesome place. This is the place where names are made here at this track. And I'm telling you, I cannot wait to get this bad boy going. We'll go ahead and check out the points right here. Shane White, he's locked in. He won at Michigan. He don't even care. Granted, he wants to come out here and win, but hell, he don't even care. He's already in. Coffee, he's in. He won both races, both the features last week at Knoxville. Looking pretty good for him. Jonathan Cofield, he's going to have to be in a little bit of, got to get out there and get going to be able to try to make it. Benson, Schaefer, Harlow, that is your cut line. The Craig Lutenslogger. Then you got Adam Lancaster, Parker Bland, Charles Stevens. All these drivers, they need to get up here and try to figure out a way to maximize that stage points, which Chuck was telling me earlier about at lap 25 of this 75 lap race. These guys need to get up there, put themselves in position, try to get some stage points, because if they don't, they can easily miss out on this championship 6 going into next week.
But let's also look at that cut line. Just because you might be P5 and 6 above it, that doesn't mean you're safe either, as tight as these points are.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be tight, folks. I mean, it's going to be tight, and it's going to get crazy. And that's the kind of racing we love here on the V-Speed Racing Network. That's the kind of racing I've always loved, is drama and intensity and high speed and all that good stuff. But right now, looking at what we are here on the grid, we're about ready to get this bad boy going out here. Shane White. How about that? Literally, Shane White, Alex Coffey. You can't even make that up. You really can't. Shane White won at Michigan. Coffey won last week at Knoxville. Both of them's locked in. They're looking like they're going to be on the front row. But here we go. We're going to go ahead and get a car analysis. Chuck, go ahead and tell us about this truck that we're going to be running here. All right, we'll bypass that. We'll just go ahead straight to the grid. As everybody's been checking them out for the past 2 weeks, we'll go ahead and get to the grid. And it's going to be Shane White, as I mentioned. He will be on the front row. Alex Coffey will start in that second spot. Craig Lutenschlager, one of those guys outside that championship 6 so far. He's got to get out here, get him a good finish here tonight. He's looking pretty good, sitting in 3rd so far. We'll see how he turns out for the rest of the race. Adam Lancaster, also another driver outside the championship 6 hunt. He wants to try to get up there and get in it. He'll start 4th. Kyle Benson will start 5th. Johnny Shade will start 6th. Got Jesse Nuclear will start in the 7th spot. Matthew Jorgensen will start in 8th. Christopher Bishop will start 9th. And Richard Swavely rounds out the top 10. To you, Chuck.
Roger that. Starting in P11, we have Stephen Harlow. P12, we have Charlie Stevens. P13th, we have Timothy Stubblefield, and in P14th, we have Parker Bland. 15th is going to be Jason Hastings, and Blaine Wilson in 16th. 17th is going to be Eric Schaefer, and number 18th is going to be Tony Kivett. And rounding out the field tonight will be Josh Lokenvitz in P19.
Folks, that's going to be the 19 drivers. Going to be getting her done. I guess you could say getting her done out here at Daytona. There you see Shane White right there in Dakota. We'll go ahead and turn it over to you. Ain't heard from you in a little while. Give us a little vehicle analysis right here on these trucks.
Yeah, these things are just badass American pick-em-up trucks, 650 horsepower, give or take, naturally aspirated V8 with the cast iron block. Of course, you got the 4-gear transmission, the H pattern, weighing around 50 pounds. Let's see. And it is in iRacing, it is the Class C series.
That's exactly right, folks. I mean, they're obviously running with the official series, with the C class, with officials and everything. Got the custom setups. You can run fixed if you want. Do it all kinds of stuff. You can even do it in Draft Masters here at Daytona. They was actually doing that a couple of weeks ago. But here you are with the race analysis. Fixed setup, 75 laps, 100% fuel. Nothing's going to be capped on that. Big thing that we need to be looking at right here is that very last thing. No fast repairs. This place has a tendency to have people wanting to be flipping over the fence. This place right here has a tendency to always cause some of the biggest wrecks that you will ever see in motorsports. So no fast repairs. These guys get in any type of accidents. They end up jacking the right front up, jacking the ass end of the car up, whatever. They're pretty much gonna have to deal with it, try to get the truck fixed as much as they can. There you see a bunch of drivers out there. I see Swavely up there at the top right. And we'll go ahead and just lead it around for final thoughts right here. Chuck, we'll start with you. What's going to be the keys tonight?
Well, I definitely don't want to lose the draft. It is a smaller field. I mean, we have 19 trucks, so I know some people try to play it safe and want to drop to the back, but you definitely there's not a lot of people to maybe necessarily get a second pack, so you're going to have to stay up with the pack and not lose it. You're also going to have to breathe your motor. I was at a race in another series the other night right here at Daytona, and on lap 5, a guy had blown his motor. So I think air that motor out, don't lose the draft.
Dakota, real quick before we get going green right here, brother, your final thoughts.
Just a whole lot of patience. You know, you got to be there at the end to win it. So we'll see who's got the most patience out of everyone.
We're going to see who's real religious right here for 75 laps because every damn one of them is going to be a praying. Pace car is off. Shane White up here on the front row. Alex Coffey, green flag. The last race here in this round before we get to Old Atlanta next week is underway. Shane White gets a huge shove from Craig Lutenslager. Now Coffey, he's going to get a shot from Adam Lancaster. Right behind him, Kyle Benson. He's going to try to ease up here. Maybe try to get himself clear. He may jump up in front of Coffey as they work their way off turn 2. Straight to you, Dakota.
Yeah, you know, coming down the backstretch, Shane's got a pretty good lead. He's got the looks like Craig Lautenslager behind him, but on that outside, you have a run coming from Alex Coffey and looks like the 17 of Adam Lancaster.
Looking pretty good right now. Coffey trying to hold on as much as he can. Lancaster, actually slipping back a little bit. Coffey actually up, down. Something you really don't want to see right here on the first lap. Kind of juggling around, if you will. One driver that is not juggling around, that's Shane White. He has kept that sucker as straight as he possibly can for one lap. Is he going to be able to do it for another 74 laps? We'll end up seeing what happens as Craig Lutenslager trying to see if he may want to look up to the top side as they're looking 3 wide back there. Coffey is fixing to go to the back as Lancaster tries to stick it in the middle and jumps right around Coffey.
Yeah, that is definitely one thing you do not want to see, you know, 2 laps into a super speedway race if somebody's shooting it 3 wide. You know, I'd mentioned, you know, having patience. You know, in order to be there at the end, you got to be there to start. So, you know, you don't want to spin it 3 wide too many times.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly, I think that might have actually opened some guys' eyes just a little bit right there, a little bit too early for some of that 3 wide stuff. And remembering that there is no fast repair that they need or that they can take if they, you know, end up getting caught up in an accident. But what is very, very interesting is I'm sitting here watching this right here on this bottom side. Timothy Stubblefield running in 7th. The other 6 drivers that's in front of him, with the exception of Stubblefield, now that Lancaster's actually going to get to the right rear quarter panel, every single one of them keeping it on the bottom. And hell, just as I say that, here goes Stephen Harlow. He's going to jump up right in front of Adam Lancaster. Now here we go. Jesse Nuclea is going to come up to the top side right in front of Stephen Harlow. It looks like I was just fixing to say, looked like the top 7 was just content, just trying to stay single file. Looks like that is the case no more. Now we got some guys actually wanting to get up here and try to battle for this. As Craig Lutenslager, he's going to jump up to the top side and try to challenge Shane White for the lead.
Yeah, you can see these trucks, some of them look like they're pretty upset. It's going to take them a little bit for them to get settled into a groove, and the only way to do that is, you know, try to not make too many passes and you know, really just follow the leader right now. And that's one thing Shane's so good at. He's good at sticking to one lane and really not moving around a whole lot.
That might be his best bet right there. Just keep it pinned down right there on the bottom. Benson back there as well. A couple of drivers actually slipping around right there. There's Parker Bland right there. Looks like may have got out of line, tried to jump to the back, may see something they don't like out here on this racetrack. Because, I mean, Chuck, you've been in these races numerous times. When you see a lot of moving around going on up there, you got to think, hell no, and just start hitting the brakes wanting to try to get to the back, because that could be your best bet, is to try to dodge the wreck rather than be in it.
That's true. That's a good point. Sometimes people do want to, quote unquote, play it safe or safer rather than be in the hornet's nest. However, if you're in a tight points battle, we got that stage break coming up. So for those people that are in the hunt for moving on to the championship round, they need every single point. So the race or the point situation dictates on how aggressive they have to be.
Yeah, I mean, every little point will matter, and I'm telling you, Lutenslager, he's wanting to try to get every little bit of point that he can. He's got Nuclea right behind him, or Nuclea. I'll get it right here in a minute, folks. Nuclea.
Necula, brother. It's Necula.
I'll get it right eventually. I'll tell you what, he's going to make me end up eating my own damn words in a minute. He's going to get to the front and say, son, you will get my damn name right before this night is over with. He's all over Lutenslager right now. Stubblefield down on the bottom. He may try to see if he can get clear of Harlow, maybe jump up to the top. Lancaster back here as well. But Kyle Benson is 100% committed to Shane White. As you see right there, Richard Swavely doing the same thing, Chuck, that I was talking about just a second ago. He may see something up here that he does not like. He may not even be wanting to get in the middle of this. A lot of drivers use this tactic, as we were talking about. Just go to the back, save yourself for that last 5-lap run.
Yeah, because they're going to re-rack them at lap 25 anyway. So you have at least one stop there where you can play it safe in the back. Again, unless you are in the points hunt and you need to be part of that stage break where you get some points.
Absolutely, and looks like it's starting to kind of ease around just a little bit. A couple of guys jumping up. Here comes Christopher Bishop. He's going to take a shot to the top side. He jumps up right in front of Luke Slugger. Now Bishop, he's going to get all the way to the door. Benson may get to the right rear quarter panel of Shane White. That opened Shane's eyes, opened his eyes up big time right there, because Bishop, he has actually made a charge right here, Dakota. This right here may open his eyes, make him think, wait a minute, maybe I need to jump up there to that top side. You know him as well as anybody right here. I mean, what's he thinking right now? You know, he's got Bishop getting this run. If he gets clear, you think Shane might jump up after he's seeing all this?
Knowing Shane, you know, being his spotter / crew chief in the Cup Series, he's pretty calm under pressure. He's got ice water in his veins. So if they make a run, he'll play it safe. He'll let them have it for a little bit, and then when it's really time to make that charge, he will get back up to the front in a hurry and try to win another one.
He may need to try to trade out that ice water and try to get some nitrous in them suckers, because I'm telling you, Bishop was all the way damn near clear of Shane White. But now White able to fight back hard on the inside. Check it out, 5 trucks up on the top side. We got one straggler way back there in the back, but 5 trucks up here basically holding ground with the rest of the field here on the bottom of the racetrack. And that's saying something right there. That's a good steady line that's up there on the top side. The bottom lane is steady as well, but it just seems like that top lane always wants to muster up some more momentum, and that's usually where I like to run at, is right there in the middle. But Chuck, the way I look at it, when you're up there in the top, middle, somewhere in that range, that's actually kind of a danger zone if you think about it, because if they end up wrecking in front of you, you can't go low because somebody's already low. You can't go high because there's a wall, and then you end up hitting the brakes. Somebody hits you in the ass. So I don't look at that, you know, as a good deal to be up there in the middle, especially right here this early in the race.
Yeah, that's typically my general strategy. The first part of these races, I like to run the bottom line, even if I'm a little farther back in position. I'd rather be on the bottom. You got more what I call bailout option. If there's a wreck, you got maneuverability to go down on the apron, go low, or move high if you need to. But if you're on that high side, you got trucks and a wall on either side. You have nowhere to go. The caveat on that is at the end of the race, a lot of times that high side carries more momentum, which I actually ended up losing P1 the other night, the outside coming on the outside of me.
Yeah, but Chuck, we won't talk about that. I mean, that was still a good race for you. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, granted, I'm a commentator, and you know, I know we ain't supposed to pick sides, but brother, I was pulling for you the whole damn time. I really was. I was over here, get it, Chuck, get it. And unfortunately, wasn't able to get it done, but still, very good finish in P3. And I'll agree with you on that, because I run these races similar to the same as we actually see Harlow actually going to slip back just a little bit. May see something he didn't like up there. Charles Stevens had to back him up a little bit. But, you know, I got the same mentality, especially for a long race like this right here. You know, just ride at the back, let everybody else sort their stuff out, and then try to be there at the end. But like you said, you got a bailout option down there on the bottom where, you know, if everything gets, you know, crazy up in front of you, you got somewhere to go. So that's, you know, I agree with that 100%. Dakota, what would you think, you know, if you were out there in the truck, you know, where would you be at, middle, or would you be on the bottom?
Man, on any super speedway, I like to hug the bottom, because, you know, like Chuck said, you want to always have that bailout option if stuff goes sideways real quick. You know, you got all that track at the bottom to have your best chance of getting out of it. And then, like you said, if you're in the middle, you know, you go low, you're gonna hit somebody. If you go high, you're gonna hit that wall. So you really you're hurting one way or the other. So I try to wrap that bottom.
Yeah, I mean, if you're up there on the top, I mean, you really only got one option. That's just gas it up and pray. But I try not to put myself in that position because 9 out of 10 times I end up in the damn crowd. But anyway, I mean, it is what it is, folks. I mean, granted, we're sitting here just rambling on. Christopher Bishop, he's really starting to try to get something going up here. Actually getting some more takers up there on the top side. Adam Lancaster up here, as well as Matthew Jorgensen. Richard Swadley, saw him down there on the bottom a while ago. Now he's eased up there to the top side as well. Look like Johnny Shade, I think it was, going to think about jumping up there. Actually, that was Jason Hastings jump up there. He's the last driver way back there. You just saw him for just a second on your screen. He's the last driver up there on the top side. But Bishop's not, I mean, he is trying to get up here and get a hold of Shane White. White's just out here for the hell of it. He's just out here to have fun. And, he doesn't have a care in the world. Bishop's out here, on the other hand, trying to get out here, get some stage points, get a win, lock himself into the playoffs. He's clear for a moment. Will he jump down in front of Shane White? The answer is no. Shane White is going to get that run back on the bottom side. Now Bishop tries to come down, maybe try to give him a little side draft. Jorgensen way up in the fence. Not real sure exactly where he is going, but Shane White able to power back hard on the inside.
Yeah, and I was actually in the team meeting with Shane White and Full Lock Racing and Big Fish Motorsports. Shane would love to win, but he said ultimately his goal is to try to get as many of his teammates into that championship round as possible. Even if that means he's got to wreck the truck. He really wants that whole team to really show out in the championship round. And speaking of which, you got Timothy Stubblefield, who's made a hell of a run to the front, and he's actually going to be my pick to win because he finished second in a Goat Locker Racing League race, I think, a couple of days ago. So he knows how to get it done around this place.
Damn sure does. And I actually saw that race. Wow, now we got some three-wide action going on back here. Alex Coffey, one of the drivers, he's locked in. He doesn't give a damn, and he does not give a damn. Up on the top side, three-wide back there. Adam Lancaster, Josh Lunkovitz on the bottom. How about Johnny Shade in that 23? He's going to give him a shove. Here comes the 18, Blaine Wilson. We may be looking three-wide for the lead as Coffey's going all the way to the front going into turn 3.
Yeah, this is going to get real hairy right here.
Yeah, that's that high side momentum, which I was saying earlier. I like running the high line or running wherever the momentum is at the end of the race, but we're only coming to lap 16 right now, boys.
Holy coffee, how about that? Alex Coffey, now he's going to get tagged by Benson. Here comes Johnny Shade in the number 23. He's going to get the shove from Blaine Wilson. Boy, it took him a couple of laps, but son, they're heating it up like all get out here at Daytona. Johnny Shade up on the top. Benson tries to stick it forward. He ends up backing out of it. Shane White all by himself trying to get these guys to get up here and give him a shove. But Johnny Shade in the number 23, Blaine Wilson behind him. And how about that number 13 back there as well? That's Craig Luxlager up on the top. Woo! Holy hell, boys, I'm telling you. Like I said, it took them a minute to get warmed up. But I'm telling you right now, they are hot and heavy here in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Yeah, I think that was the ultimate goal of Alex Coffey dropping to the back, was to get back there with his two teammates in Johnny Shade and Blaine Wilson. And they sit back and plotted their run to the front. It's paid off, a whole hell of a lot right there, as they're dictating the pace of this race now.
They damn sure are. Now Blaine Wilson, he's going to be down on the bottom. Shane White got kicked all the way back to 5th. Look at it for 6th, actually, because Benson, he's up there on the top in that number 70. Coffey down there on the bottom. He's trying to give Blaine Wilson a little bit of a shove. Johnny Shade up there on the top. He's got Luton Slugger Benson behind him. And how about Stephen Harlow back here in the number 5? He's trying to ease up here with the number 14, Chris Bishop. Bishop was up there at one point leading a couple of laps here in this race. That's awesome for the points and all. But now, I mean, I'm telling you, what a run out of Alex Coffey. He just came out of nowhere. And, Dakota, the way I look at it, he's got that don't give a damn attitude. Obviously, won last week at Knoxville. He has that attitude, and he just showed it right there.
Yeah, I'm sure Alex Coffey's got the same mentality that, Shane has, is let's try to get my teammates into the championship. Oh, as it actually turns his teammate. Oh, man.
Benson turned Johnny Shade. Shade able to keep it going backwards, but did not hit anything. No caution on the speedway as of yet. But unfortunately, Blaine Wilson's going to ease back just a little bit, and that's going to surrender the lead to Craig Lutenschlager up at the front. Kyle Benson right behind him. We'll check it out one more time in instant replay. There you see Lutenschlager. He already jumped up. Shade tried to jump down in front of Benson, and the hole just closed up ever so fast. There you see Shade basically just in a uncontrollable spin going through the grass right there, Chuck. He's able to get it straight, get it back out there, but he's going to be trying to get back on the gas to try to get as much speed as he can. Granted, he may be the only driver one lap down when this whole thing's said and done after this stage, but hell of a save by Johnny Shade right there.
Yeah, that was a real good save. I mean, he minimized what could have been catastrophic night for him. He kept it off the wall, spun around. He's going to be by himself, certainly lost the draft. He needs to do his best now to just stay on the lead lap or be the first car lap down if the field does catch him. But we're coming to lap 21 right now, so if he could just hang on that lead lap or be the first lap or car lap down, once he gets his stage break, they'll re-rack him and he'll be fine.
Just as I was fixing to say, the whole damn field was in a single file line. Jason Hastings, 49, he's the only one decided to jump out. Eric Schaefer right behind him. He's giving him a shove all the way up. Here they go. Past them. Pass up to Coffee. Now Coffee jumps up. He was in front of Stubblefield. Hastings gets stuck in the fence. Schaefer gets turned straight into the wall. Caution out. Holy, woo, golly bum. I'm telling you, they are making some crazy moves out here tonight, guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's probably going to end Eric Schaefer's championship hopes right there.
And he was able to really get a hold of Hastings. They was making a huge run right there. And then Coffee saw the run, and he kind of, he jumped up. But it looked like Hastings was just carrying too much speed. Chuck, what do you think? Because from what I'm seeing, we'll check it out right here. Coffee, he was already committed to go up. There we go. We'll get a better angle of it right here. Coffee's going to jump up. There you're going to see Hastings. He's way back there. Here he comes. Got a hell of a run. And they're coming. I don't know. Honestly, I thought he might have jumped up a little bit fast or whatever and then kind of caused that whole stack up. What do you think, Chuck?
It is hard to tell, and I'm not in their car here, that throttle. Coffee did come up with the momentum. I don't think the 49 could lay off the 11th bumper. And by the way, race control has confirmed this is stage. It's within 5, so this will be our stage break also.
I'm actually looking at this right here, Dakota. Actually, I'm thinking it may have been a little bit on Schaefer because, you know as well as I do here in these trucks. Look right there, on board right there. You can't see a damn thing. He does not know the Coffee. He saw it right there for a second. But, it was just a huge stack up. I think it just had a lot to do with not being able to see. What do you think?
Yeah, that's one of the big kickers of any super speedway race. That's limited sight, and you just got to drive the truck in front of you and hope they don't hit nothing, because if they hit something, you're hitting them, and it's just going to be one hell of a mess.
Yeah, that's exactly what it ended up being right there. It was one hell of a mess, and very unfortunate to see that, but we got a lot of guys down pit road right here. While they're down pit road, we're going to go ahead and take one quick commercial break. Be right back with probably talking to Craig Lutenschlager since he won the stage, and then we'll be back with the rest of the race, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Let's meet the supply chain technology lineup. Coil machines, a powerful combination of access, control, and traceability. Sensor devices, take what you need, the device reports who, what, and how much. Multi-use lockers, vend bulk items, manage assets, and pick up orders. And electronic bins, avoid stockouts with 24/7 inventory monitoring. The key to the game, a local blue team to keep your supply chain moving full speed ahead. Fastenal, where industry meets innovation.
folks, we are back here at Daytona for the Fastenal Winter Series, and we got Craig Lutenslager up here, or Lutenslager, excuse me, I believe I pronounced that wrong. Craig Lutenslager up here in the booth, and Craig, you won stage one. Tell us what it's like out there, brother, because I mean, y'all had a hell of a run right there with coffee. All of y'all trying to get up there. Just take us through that whole deal of how y'all got up there.
Started up front, which was great, and then I had a couple of my teammates were close to the front, and we controlled the race early on, and started to go back a little bit. Then got behind, or I got in front of one of my teammates, and we just went around the 23 and controlled the race from there. Somebody like looped it, I think, and yeah, I've just got a bit of a lead, I think, and yeah, got the stage win done, and a lot better position now to potentially make the final.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll let you get back at it. Looks like y'all fixing to go green. Wow. I mean, that's pretty much a strategy right there from Craig right there. Go ahead and pull out all the stops. See if he can try to keep that bad boy up front. Green flag is in the air. Kyle Benson, he's going to get away big time right here with a huge restart. Craig Lutenslager back here trying to hold on as much as he can. Harlow back here as well trying to give him that shove. Here goes Bishop up here. Bishop's actually rocking and rolling now down here on the bottom side. Shane White up here as well. As there you see right there, Craig Lutenslager. He's trying to get that shove, trying to get it going with Stephen Harlow, and now Craig Lutenslager. I keep messing it up. I'm telling you, these guys is going to end up making me eat my own damn words tonight, Dakota. I'm messing up all kinds of names out here at Daytona. And now Harlow's going to dump it down in front of Benson and go for the lead.
And that was an absolute gutsy call by Stephen Harlow. It looked like he didn't have an inch to spare, but he got it done, and he's actually going to take control of this thing. So got a new player at the front. As we see Benson go to the outside, he wants a taste of that lead now.
Yeah, I mean, he was oh so close. Had that lap a while ago after they kind of slipped back a little bit, had that run on Craig. And now Benson, he's going to take sole command of this bad boy. Lutenslager back there behind him as well. Chris Bishop, he's going to have to try to find something, get something going up here. Maybe try to shove this inside lane. Charles Stevens, he's up there on the top side as well. And guess who? Jesse Neclia, I'm sorry, I keep pronouncing that wrong, but we got a caution back there in the back. Looks like that's the number 4, Schaefer, possibly back there in the back, but caution is on the speedway. Going to kind of get an idea, see exactly what may have happened here for this caution right here.
I think that was just an accident on the race control's part. He come over race comms and said that was his fault. So no harm, no foul.
Yeah, it might have been some virtual debris on the track.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, let's go with that. Got some virtual debris out there. Hey, folks, I mean, hell, it can happen. I mean, you know, have a virtual drunk fan up there and end up, hey, we want a caution. Screw it. Throw a virtual beer can out there. I mean, it's possible. I mean, anything can happen at this point.
I will tell you, when Harlow jumped down in front of Benson a couple laps ago, I'm not so sure that Benson didn't cut Harlow a break. Maybe just ever so gently cracked that throttle, because you said it. I don't think he could put a piece of paper between Harlow and Benson's bumpers.
Yeah, it was tight. I mean, it was very, very tight, and I mean, that's what these guys. I mean, Dakota, you know this, obviously, talking about the, crew chief for Shane and spotted for Shane, kind of, when people are going to make aggressive moves and everything else. And, I mean, I'm sure it makes you draw up just a little bit to kind of see, people making moves like that. But I mean, that's what they got to do. I mean, they got to try to put themselves in position to try to get up here and win this race. No matter what lap it is, they got to get up there and they got to try to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of, racing in real life or NI racing. You just never know when you're going to get a long green flag run at the end. I mean, this thing might run green at the end, no, knock on wood, no green, white checkers, or, so you got to try to get yourself in position early, but not too early, because like I said, it's always that great unknown. It don't matter what track you're at. I mean, calamity can strike at any time.
Yeah, and we already saw exactly that kind of calamity that can really happen. I mean, and let's not count, Eric Schaefer out. I mean, granted, we talked about, the struggle and everything else, obviously getting caught up in that wreck. He's still on the lead lap. So, I mean, he's still got a possibility to try to get back in this, probably, or, try to get as much damage as he can fixed. Maybe try to get enough fixed to where he can try to hang in the draft. And, Chuck, you mentioned it. I mean, this place is the ultimate wild card. If Michigan and Knoxville wasn't already enough, this is the ultimate wild card because you just have no idea what the hell is going to happen lap by lap.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I certainly don't wish bad race or carnage on any of these drivers, but a lot can happen. Again, if you're in a tight points battle around somebody and they get a catastrophic failure or significant damage, that puts you right back in the game. Maybe not to win the race, but enough points to get you to that next round. So it's not over yet by any means.
Well, folks, we'll go ahead and we'll set the scene for you right here as they are coming off. Turn number 4, pace car is off. Kyle Benson, Craig Lutenslager, Jesse Necula out here with Stephen Harlow. Green flag is in the air. Benson, he's going to get a fantastic jump. How about that? Caught Lutenslager sleeping on the restart. Now here comes Necula. He's going to try to come up. Maybe give Benson a little bit of a shove. But Harlow, we already saw how aggressive he was just a couple of laps ago, cutting down in front of Benson. He is giving Lutenslager all he can handle, shoving him, not damn near shoving him, he is shoving him all up in the tailgate. He is trying to take him all the way to the front. Lutenslager is clear. Will he decide to jump down? Maybe not, but Benson, he's going to try to fight hard on this inside. He's got Necula right behind him, and Harlow, Bishop, Charles Stevens, all of them battling as they come off of turn 4.
Yeah, that outside line actually looks a little bit more organized and hooked up than that inside line, ever so slightly, but it seems like that outside line has a little bit more momentum. As I say that, the inside line comes back forward. So, back to you, Dakota.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was amazing to see that there was only like maybe 5 trucks that chose that outside lane, so it was a miracle to see them actually hang with the inside line on that restart.
I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, crazier things have happened. 9 wasted Sunday here in this race. We're talking about some drivers already making some very, very big moves within where they started all the way to where they are now. Charles Stevens, he started 12th. He's all the way up to 5th. How about Parker Bland, 14th up to 9th? How about that? Pretty good drive. Adam Lancaster, he's actually slipping back just a little bit. But how about Josh Lukovitz? We talked about him a couple of times. Talked about him last week at Knoxville. He was able to get out there, get that 10th, then they flipped it. He ended up starting at the front. He's already from 19th up to 12th. So he's looking pretty good. Looks like he's calm, cool, collected, got the beard going on and everything. That's how Josh is, and that's why we love him. But looks like he just kind of calm, cool, collected, just kind of just biding his time, wanting to see what's going to happen up here. But how about this? Benson, he is clear. Lutenslager trying to get up there to his door, and Jesse Nuclear trying to get up here and give Benson that shove, and then if he gets clear, he may jump up in front of Lutenslager and may try to go for the lead, and that was what he thought about doing, thought about jumping up there, but looks like Lutenslager's going to get the run from Harlow and try to get back up here to Kyle Benson.
Yeah, I know I mentioned patience early on in the broadcast, and I know Kyle Benson, he's one of these guys that he's led every week, and, he's been in positions to win this thing late, and he's just had bad stuff happen to him, wrecks, bad timed green, white checkers, and I don't think he's going to be very patient. He wants to run this thing out. He wants to lead the rest of these damn laps, and he finally wants to put his name in that win column.
I mean, he come so close 2 weeks ago at Michigan. I mean, he damn near had the thing won, a couple of times in that race and just wasn't able to close it out. So I know he's got Michigan already in the back of his mind. We may end up seeing a little bit of 3 wide back here. Jorgensen actually thought about jumping up. Parker Bland's going to try to stick it right in the middle. And that's exactly where he's going to go. He's going to hang Jorgensen out, and he's going to try to bring Josh Lunkovich with him. So Jorgensen, who was up here inside the top 10, he may end up falling outside of the top 10 all in one turn. But Jorgensen, he's going to try to file back in line on the top side as Lutenslager's still getting this shove. And how about Parker Bland up here trying to get in the middle of this as well, as we may have somebody spinning in the back. Yeah, we got a couple Shade White, Lancaster, Nuclear, and then we got Richard Swavely spinning in the grass, and now we've got a caution.
I think everybody kept it off the wall, though. I saw Richard Swavely spun, and actually somebody, I didn't quite catch the car number, or excuse me, truck number. Somebody was already in the grass, but I believe everybody got away as far as damage contact-wise.
Kind of get an idea, I believe I saw exactly kind of what happened. Benson, he actually got a hell of a shove from Nuclear, and then after that, he just kind of just backed up. I mean, Bishop was right behind him, and he ends up just kind of running into him. You'll see it right here on the instant replay. There's Bishop and the 14. Parker's up there. Watch Nuclear right here. I mean, he hits Benson, and all of a sudden, it's just like he might have hit the ignition switch right there, Dakota. I mean, he hits, from what it looked like, because usually, I mean, I've seen checkups, and I'm sure you have too. Usually you see checkups, but not that drastic. Is there you see Nuclear actually maybe have blown it up, because he was all over the back bumper of Benson right there. And yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly what it was. I think he might have popped the motor right there, and that's where all that right there started.
Yeah, that's. Go ahead, Dakota.
I say you seen that puff of smoke come out the back of Necula's truck, so I'd say where he was tucked up behind Benson for so long, he just overheated it, and that bump right there just kind of finished it off. So I think Necula's night is done.
Well, I said at the beginning of the broadcast, I ran in another league, a series the other night in the trucks at this track, and on lap 5 or 6, a guy had popped his motor. So I said earlier, you got to breathe that motor a little bit, and we saw it when he popped it. That just kind of checked up the field, did the accordion effect. Charlie Stevens got into the back of the 14, and then it just trickled on back through that inside line, which is, I think, what caused some of the checkups with Swaverly and the other fella that was going through the grass.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see that. I mean, that's what's going to end up happening right there. I mean, guys, trying to be aggressive, and I mean, it is hard to see. I myself have raced super speedway. Matter of fact, I raced Talladega in my league race last night. Ended up coming home 5th. Good for me on that. After I got in a wreck, probably like lap 6, 7, 8, somewhere in that range, and then had to fight, like hell to try to get back to the front. But I mean, Chuck, I mean, I'll bring you in on this one right here. I mean, you're so concentrated on one thing. You're so concentrated on shoving a guy in front of you that you don't think about looking down there at your temperature gauge. I mean, a lot of drivers, they're just tunnel vision, basically tunnel vision on doing one
You're
thing.
zoned out. You're zoned out because you're maybe dragging the brake and you're on throttle. You're dragging the brake. You're on throttle. You're worrying about pushing, worrying about who's trying to side draft you. And you're right. But before you know it, those temperature gauges are trying to climb, and before you know it, you might pop your motor.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. We're actually going to bring in a driver real quick from full lock right here. Go ahead and try to bring him in. I mean, what kind of happened right there? I mean, you looked like you was doing pretty good right there, and then all of a sudden you just kind of got shuffled out. Was that by design, or did they end up just sticking it in there and shoving you straight backwards?
I tried taking a risk there, trying to see if anybody go with me. So, yeah. Just a risk first reward there, but I'm up at front and I'm gonna try to keep it there now.
What's going to be the key at the end of this race? Because we've already seen a lot of aggressive, driving. We've already seen some aggressive pushing, which is exactly kind of, what caused that whole this last caution right here. But what's going to be the key to staying up front and getting a win here tonight at Daytona?
I'm gonna stick to the bottom now. I like running the top here, but I I got to get to the front. So I gotta win to get in, I believe, and that's what I got to do. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, we're saying right here, you're 10 points out of the cut right here. So, I mean, obviously you got to factor that in right there. But, Matt, appreciate your time, brother, and good luck. And we'll see how the rest of the night unfolds for you, sir.
Hey, thank you.
That was Matthew
So,
Jorgensen. So, go ahead, Chip.
so I just went down to the pit box of Jesse Necula, and just to get final confirmation, and it is what we suspected. He did pop his motor. He just wasn't paying attention to the temperatures like we speculated, and now confirmed he popped his motor. And Charlie Stevens, his teammate, also said to let everybody on the broadcast know. I'll have to use a different word, but he might have pooped his pants a little bit there when that happened.
Woo.
So yeah, a lot of stuff going on there out of Charlie Stevens' windshield as well.
Appreciate the G rating right there, folks. And talking about the popping, for some of the G rated viewers out there, think of it like a balloon, kids. When you pop a balloon, it goes in a million pieces. That's kind of exactly what happened to Jesse's truck right there. But pace car is off. Harlow, Bland up on the front row. Green flag is in the air. Harlow's going to get a pretty good jump. How about Josh Lunkovich? Not a good restart for him. Parker Bland's going to be in a very, very bad spot unless Josh Lunkovich can get up to the back bumper of Bland. Maybe try to help him out. Here we go. Stevens, he's going to get a fantastic jump. How about that? Had to get on the brakes. Almost ran over Josh Lunkovich. And Richard Swavely saw him spinning around not too long ago. Matter of fact, that last caution, here comes Swavely. He's up here on the top side. He's behind them all. But Parker Bland jumps down to the bottom. And here comes Josh Lunkovich up on the top side to battle for the lead.
And that Lunkovich and Stevens are on the same team. They're in Full Lock Racing, and I tell you what, Lunkovich is a great super speedway racer as well as Charlie. Lunkovich has actually pushed me to a win, so watch out for those two teammates. They've raced together very well.
Woo, boy, but it back that crazy right there. Stevens almost turned Lunkovich straight into the fence. Lunkovich is actually going down a little bit lower than old Chuck is right there. Charlie Stevens, I'll say it like that, but Charles, I mean, he's got to try to stay lined up right there with Josh, because when you get down low like that, you can easily get turned. Matter of fact, screw it, go all the way to the bottom. Charles Stevens going to take it to the inside. Lunkovich is going to get kicked up to the top side. He's going to have Swavely and Benson behind him. Charles Stevens in the number 9. He may be teammates with Lunkovich, but damn it, he wants to win here at Daytona. But now Lunkovich, he's going to get this motor back going. Here comes Swavely, door to door at the line here at Daytona. Lunkovich and Stevens going for the lead. Lunkovich still battling hard on the top side. Swavely right behind him. Stevens trying to hold on as long as he can. Looks like it's about 5 trucks, up there on the top side. Looks like Bishop, he's the last driver up there. Lutenslager, he's up there as well with Benson. Looks like Swavely and Lunkovich. That's all the way from the back all the way to the front. Stevens able to hold it down. Now here comes Parker Bland. Bland's going to get clear. Will they jump up? Will they get up there in front of Lunkovich? No, Lunkovich is going to get the run once again, but Swavely is too far back. There may be a little bit of a hole for Parker Bland to jump up in, maybe not. Everybody just all over the place right now, Dakota. I mean, everybody drifting back a little bit, going forward. I mean, it's all crazy watching all this right here.
Yeah, well, the one thing about super speedway racing is if you got that gap, you need to take it, because you might have it 1 second, then you blink your eyes, and that gap is filled real quick, as we see Richard Swavely actually getting shuffled to the middle right here alongside Josh Lunkovich. So maybe they want to drop to the back and try to get a regroup going, but we'll see how that plays out for him as we see Kyle Benson on the outside getting a push from Craig Lautenslager.
Wow, I'm telling you, that got crazy in a hurry. Now looks like Swavely out there maybe blinking just a little bit. Lunkovich still stuck in the middle. Benson up top. Lancaster down on the bottom. And no, Lancaster's going to get stuck in the fence. Benson gets in it. Lunkovich gets in it. Everybody get piled up back there in the back. Wow, caution on the speedway. Bishop trying to get the truck turned back around right ways. But wow, just out of nowhere, Lancaster gets turned in the trial.
I think Lukovich has minimal damage. I think he got through that pretty good. I was going to say before this happened, if Lukovich could get behind Charlie Stevens, that may be a tandem we need to watch for. I know Lukovich and Stevens are a team, and I know Lukovich is a hell of a pusher on these super speedways. I know that from experience.
There you see Jorgensen. I mean, he jumped up, and yeah, Lukovich came down ever so slightly, ends up tagging Lancaster. A couple of other drivers got snuck around into it. They got sucker hold as well. Benson was one of them that got stuffed straight in the fence. There you see Swavely back there blinking. He may have blinked through the whole damn thing, to be honest with you. If he kept blinking, he probably would have been in better shape, to be honest with you. But looks like he was able to barely sneak back. Yeah, he damn sure did. He blinked all the way through it. He blinked when the caution come out. Awesome deal right there for Swavely to be able to get through it. I'm sure he's going to be watching that one back on the highlight reel going, thank God for the internet at that point.
Yeah, still looking back at this replay, that's one of the bad things about being stuck in the middle is you got to hold a pretty wheel, because if you bobble just a little bit, you know, you've got vehicles on either side of you. So if you're not holding that steady wheel, stuff like that right there will happen every time.
Wow. And I'm telling you, I mean, folks, they are teasing just a little bit right here, Chuck. They are teasing this big one right here. They get close every single time. We may end up getting 3-4 trucks, give or take, but everybody able to sneak away and just get some minimum damage. I'm telling you, before it's all said and done, Chuck, I mean, I don't know what you're thinking. I know you don't want to see it. I know everybody doesn't want to see it. But as hard as they're racing, as aggressive as they're racing, and knowing what's on the line, I'm telling you, a big one, I got a feeling it's coming.
You're not going to hear me saying I've done enough broadcasting jinxing throughout the season, so I'm not going to be that guy.
Well, all right, Dakota, we'll bring it over to you. What you think?
You know, I'm a sucker for madness. Anytime we see metal crunching, it's always going to be a good time. So I might be one of the only ones like, let's see one of these big ones and really turn this thing on its head.
That's a good possibility. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I'm all for the madness my damn self, but a lot of drivers, damn near everybody, literally everybody going down pit road right there. Probably getting some tires, getting some gas. Some guys out there getting some damage. I see Josh Lunkovich back here as well. Looks like he's trying to get some damage fixed. Schaefer, poor old Eric Schaefer, I mean, he's 11 laps down. I mean, like you said, Coda, his championship hunt's pretty much shot. He's still in the pits. But there you see Lunkovich. He's able to get back out there. Probably just had like you said, Chuck, probably just minimum damage. He should be okay. But everybody else pretty much just holding it down. We'll go ahead and give you an idea pretty much where everybody is right now. Charles Stevens, he is the race leader. All right, right behind him is Shane White. How about that? Shane White started on the pole. Now he's going to be sitting in second. Harlow's going to be back here as well as Parker Bland. And right behind them is going to be Timothy Stubblefield. And Dakota, you talked about Timothy Stubblefield. We'll go ahead and just bring him up for a second with the goat locker race that we was talking about, or that you was talking about the other night. I mean, holy hell. I mean, what a race, that Timothy Stubblefield, I mean, that's got to give him a lot of confidence going into this race right here, knowing that, you know what, I went out there, I kicked ass, Friday night at that goat locker race. I've got a shot here in the Fastenal Winter Series.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that's the beauty of, running multiple leagues, and sometimes the schedules fall just perfect, running the same track. So you got a lot of time to see what works and see what don't before you get into another league. And like we said, Timothy Stubblefield actually finished second in that goat locker race, and it's paying off for him right now. He's got a hell of a run. I know Stub Nation runs deep in the YouTube chat, so shout out to Stub Nation, and hopefully he can bring it home for him.
Anything is possible. I mean, folks, it is Daytona. I mean, anything is possible. It's like everybody's going to get lined up and get ready to rock and roll right here. Pace lights is off, and as I mentioned, Charles Stevens, he's going to be at the front. He's going to have Matthew Jorgensen. How about this? He's up there on the top side. I thought he was actually going to be sitting in second, but somehow or another, he's up here on the top side now. Then Shane White, he's going to be down on the bottom. Josh Lunkovich, just talked about him. He got caught up in that last wreck. Just a little bit of craziness going on right there in the tri-oval. He's going to be restarting fourth. Parker Bland going to be up here restarting in the fifth spot. And then Timothy Stubblefield, he's actually back here behind a couple of other drivers. I'm actually trying to wait on my leaderboard, but there it is right there on the other screen. But, I mean, you know, Coffee up here as well. How about Alex Coffee, Chuck? I mean, Alex, granted, it's like we said a while ago, he's got nothing to lose. I mean, he could care less. He's up here to try to help his teammates, try to help them out, be able to get them up here, and try to get them into that championship 6 next week at Old Atlanta. But Coffee started on the front row, looking pretty good, sitting in 8th. But how about the guy behind him? This is the driver I'm seeing, Tony Kivett. How about that? Started 18th. He's all the way up to 9th. How about that?
Yeah, it's amazing on these super speedways, and I've been watching it for years. You know, in 2 laps, you can literally be from last place and be top 5, top 3 in like 3 laps.
Well, folks, this is the part of the show where we're going to go ahead and make you wish that you was at Daytona. We're going to go ahead and give you 1 lap right here. Crank up them speakers here tonight on V Speed Racing Network as we got the green flag. Folks, that is a lap at Daytona International Speedway. And folks, like I said, if you have not had the opportunity to go to this racing facility, by God, go and check it out. You will not be disappointed. Wherever you're at in America, in the world, go to this place. You will absolutely love the racing that you are seeing here and at the real facility. And how about Shane White? Started on the pole. He's going all the way back to the front. He's got Matthew Jorgensen right behind him. Charles Stevens up here with Josh Lunkovich. Chuck, you talked about this right here with this little flip-flop right here. Will this end up paying off for Charles Stevens and Josh Lunkovich? It's only a matter of time at this point, but they're looking pretty good down there on that bottom side.
Yeah, I know their strategies. I've been in their team. I've raced in both of them. I know how they race. And that might be definitely a tandem to be on the watch for the rest of the night if all goes well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anything is possible, as I've said before. And folks, that may have been the term that I should have went with on this one. Is anything is possible, but who will not back down? Right now, Shane White is not backing down. Matthew Jorgensen's not backing down. We talked about Timothy Stubblefield. He's kicked up there on the top side. He ain't backing down at all. Charles Stevens, Josh Lunkovich, none of these guys, none of the drivers are backing down out here tonight. But it looks like we got 4 drivers up on the top side. Dakota, we saw this earlier. 4 drivers up on the top side. Everybody else down on the bottom. Looks like they're being able to hang with the rest of the field.
Yeah, and I think on the initial restart, it was actually only 2 trucks up there on the high side. So, you know, it was a damn of a miracle that they was able to stay up there. And I think 5 of the top 6 or 7 trucks, they're all actually teammates and affiliates. So that Full Lock Racing and Big Fish Motorsports team, they've got this figured out right now. So we're gonna see if they can run this out to the end.
We'll see what happens right here. There you see Shane White up there on the top side. Jorgensen still trying to run with him. Stubblefield up there as well as Christopher Bishop. Charles Stevens, he's able to get clear for just a little bit. Josh Lunkovich was clear for a second, but obviously not going to leave his teammate, that being Charles Stevens. Parker Bland back here as well, right behind him. Stephen Harlow back here as well. Everybody looking like they're pretty content, but still 4 trucks up on the top side. Nobody back there in the back really wanting to jump out of line and try to jump up here and help these guys. I think it's a waiting game right now, Chuck. I think everybody's just waiting until the point of no return.
Yeah, I agree. I think we may get some calm racing. I don't think anything can be too aggressive here. We get down inside that 10 or 5 to go. Everything's off to the wind.
Well, we'll see what happens right here. I mean, anything, like I keep saying it, folks, anything's possible. I sound like a damn broken record at this point. Come on, boys, let's race here at Daytona. Harlow, he thought about it. Actually, Bishop actually thought about jumping back in line. He may have had enough of just trying to ride right there, to be honest with you. Everybody up here on the top, now he's got a little bit of a hole. Will he decide to jump down in front of Lancaster? One driver jumps down. That's Jorgensen. He jumps down. Stubblefield, he's hung up on the top side. He wants to try to get down. But now Lancaster may lift a little bit, maybe try to let him in, maybe not. Bishop up here. Here comes Lutenslager. He's going to jump up to the top. Everybody trying to figure out which lane they want to get in right here. But, I mean, I'm telling you, you know, top, bottom, whichever one you want to get in. Now Stubblefield jumps down. Hell, you got one way back there in the back. That's Richard Swavely. He says, screw it. Y'all want to try to figure out what damn lane y'all want to get in? I'm just going to try to go to the front. Swavely way back there. He may end up trying to get a run and trying to jump past all these guys.
I think Swavely's going to need to get at least one more car between those two and head to give him a little bit more sniff of the draft. I think he's a little far back to be able to get up to those top 2. Yep, he just now ducked down on the bottom side.
He just jumped down right there. And after that crazy move, we'll go ahead and bring him in. See if we can maybe have a little talk with Mr. Richard Swavely. Swavely, we got you in here in the booth. I mean, you know, what's it like out there right now? Is everybody just is this kind of the calm before the storm right now?
Yeah, you know, that's kind of what I'm feeling. So that's the vibe I'm getting. Here, looking at how many needs to go, probably here in about 10 laps. As a resident of Wyoming out here, this is going to get a little western here in a moment. So, yeah, it's definitely the calm.
And folks, you know, just go ahead and put it that way. When they say it's fixing to get western, it means all hell's fixing to break loose. I think that's exactly what Mr. Swavely is thinking right here. But I mean, you know, Richard, what's the game plan right here? I mean, you talking about it's all fixing to get western right here. We're trying to ride back here, trying to mess it all, or are we going to try to get to the front and try to be in front of it?
Usually I set myself to go with about 5-6 laps to go. One little tidbit of information is I topped off at the end of that last caution, and currently I'm only about a lap and a half to the good. So guys that didn't top off, we might have some trucks running out in the last lap if it goes green to the end. So that might be something for you guys to pay attention to.
Woo, boy, that might get interesting. Well, Richard, we'll go ahead and let you ease back over there in the team chat, brother, and good luck. Hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing.
All right, I take it.
Wow, that's something we weren't really thinking about right there, guys. Granted, we set 100% on the fuel. They are able to go, for a good bit. 34 laps, give or take, maybe a little, I'd say probably about 30 laps on a whole tank of fuel. We weren't really thinking about that at the time with all the chaos and the craziness that was going on right there, Dakota, but that is a possibility. They may not be able to make it. May see some guys run out of gas. And, honestly, I saw the same damn thing happen last night in my league race. Guy ran out of gas in the tri-oval, almost caused a hell of a wreck right there on the last lap. So, that's possible that could happen right here.
Yeah, and Richard Swavely, he's one of the good ones at planning a strategy out and sticking into it. And we kind of got a running joke in in one of our little communities on Discord saying that we'd like to, dam up the turns and then stock a super speedway with bass and trout and, you see he's got MEPs on the side of his truck, so hopefully them trouts on the side of his bed, hopefully they don't get filleted here in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way with Darlington. To be honest with you, I hate that place. But I mean, you know, a lot of people's got that mentality, I guess you could say, about the super speedways. Some people does, some people doesn't. I love them personally. I mean, I absolutely love the super speedways. I love the speed, the chaos, the strategies, the not knowing. I mean, that's exactly what you could run into. And I mean, hell, at this point, we don't even know who's probably going to lead this next lap. As here comes Lunkovitz. He's getting a shove. May end up having Harlow. Harlow backs off big time. He may have smoked the engine. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he just got out of the gas because he got a little bit hot right there behind Parker Bland. But Harlow, he still got it under power. But Chuck, that got really, really crazy right there for a second. I thought we was fixing to see another nuclear power plant basically with Stephen Harlow.
Well, yeah, I've seen a lot of people migrate to the bottom and kind of back it up, but, you know, I didn't think about the fuel thing. I kind of assumed that, you know, my mentality as a driver, you're either, you're saving fuel if you're going to be close, cut the engine off, or maybe you want to get somebody in front of you and not lead a line so you can save some fuel. But as we see, the entire field is on the bottom. The entire field is single file. So I don't know if we have some people jockeying for position and potentially pit, or if this is fuel saving strategy going on right now. But we have one lane the entire way around the track.
Maybe not. Actually, Matthew Jorgensen, he's going to ease it up to the top side. Nobody going with him, though. He almost ended up he was looking to possibly clear Josh Lunkovitz. I mean, you know, we talked to him a minute ago, you know, trying something different, trying to make something work. Looks like he's not going to be able to make it work. Looks like he's going to try something that's going to send him all the way to the back because nobody's jumping up here. But Chuck, good point. I mean, I think it may be just kind of a wait-and-see strategy trying to save fuel. I mean, it could be that. It could be a number of other things. But now here he comes, really side drafting very, very hard on these guys down here on the bottom side. How about Shane White? He's going to jump up here. He's going to try to get some help. Timothy Stubblefield's going to jump up here to the top side. 3 trucks, that's all that's up here on the top side. They're going to help Matthew Jorgensen, and he is going to get clear of Josh Lunkovitz. Shane White's going to get clear. Now, here goes Jorgensen. He jumps down. White's going to jump down. Now Stubblefield's the one that's hung out, but here comes Parker Bland to come up and give him a shove.
Well, the top 5 cars, I believe, are all on the same team and or team affiliate. So you do have a lot of teamwork going on there. But, you know, that last lap, I think all that goes out the window. I think everybody play nice, communicate, talk well with each other. Last lap, though, I think it's all about your name, your number, your victory.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everybody races for. I mean, you know, you got to be able to be there at the end, and you got to race for yourself. I mean, granted, you know, I'm on teams, you know, all the way around. We actually see Parker Bland blinking a little bit. We're actually hearing that's why that there was a driver that backed out just a little bit, scared Harlow. We thought he popped the engine, but it was Parker Bland that was up there blinking, and so it scared Harlow, and Harlow ended up checking up. And so that's not what it was. We thought it may have been an overheating issue, but it wasn't. But, I mean, you know, it's just like you said, Chuck. You got to go for it. I mean, all these teams, everything that's going on, but you are out here for yourself. That's why we race. That's why we love to race, is we want to try to be the best that we can be. And then if you can try to help the teammates, you know what, damn it, so be it. But last lap, all that's out the door. You got to go for it.
Right.
Right now, Timothy Stubblefield, I mean, he's basically just kicked everybody out back. There you saw it for a second. You saw it right there on the tailgate. Stub Nation out here leading here at Daytona. He wants to try to get one better than what happened on Friday night. But he's got the 10 with Matthew Jorgensen, Parker Bland back here, Stephen Harlow up here on the top side. He's trying to give Parker Bland the shove. Maybe go ahead and get both of them clear and jump down in front of Stubblefield. But Stubblefield, he's getting all he can handle from Jorgensen. Now it's going to be a four-way race right here, right in front of Shane White. White trying to figure out if he can jump up here and get in line with these guys. He's got Lunkovitz behind him. And check it out, Charles Stevens. How about that? Chuck, you called that a while ago. Charles Stevens right behind Josh Lunkovitz. I'm telling you, it's going to be a very, very interesting coming up on right here. This next time around, 16 laps to go. This time be 15 next time. It's going to be very interesting to see how the end of this race plays out.
Yeah, you know, again, talking about lap counts, you know, 15, 16 laps at a mile and a half or a short track, man, that race is almost over.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go. Coffee coming up the top side. He's going to bring Blaine Wilson with him. Parker Bland, he's going to get stuck in the middle. Harlow right behind him. But Blaine Wilson and Alex Coffey, they're going to shoot the top side. May end up having some guys back there in the back, maybe try to jump up here and go with them. Jason Hastings is one of them. Johnny Shade is one of them. Everybody might not be waiting for that last lap. They said, screw it, we're going for it right here at 15 laps to go. Johnny Shade, he hangs out Hastings back there. And now we are 3 wide for about 3 rows back here. 3 wide, 3 rows deep. Stubblefield trying to hold it on the bottom. Parker Bland getting the shove from Harlow. Almost gets turned off a 2. And here comes Parker Bland. Here comes Coffey. They're going 3 wide going into turn 3.
Yeah, I think if I'd have been Parker Bland right there, I'd have went ahead and rode that momentum and jumped up top and could have probably pulled Alex Coffey and cleared him right there. But Parker opted to stay in the middle. And as we're 3 wide, two rows deep here. So I'm going to hold my breath for a minute.
I'm telling you right now, I've been holding my breath for the past 62 laps now at this point. Coffey trying to get Blaine Wilson, give him a shove and try to get clear like they did earlier when they went all the way from the back and shot all the way to the front. Coffey, Blaine Wilson, they're up on the top side. Parker Bland, Stephen Harlow smack dab in the middle, and Stub Nation getting all they can get from Matthew Jorgensen down on the bottom. It is hold your breath excitement here at Daytona. Stubblefield, he's going to get the shove from Jorgensen. Now the middle lane is fixing to fall out. Bland slides back. Harlow slides back. Coffey hangs out Blaine Wilson. Now he's going to jump down in front of Parker Bland and try to see if he can go to the latest. Parker Bland gets turned into the fence. Big crash coming out of turn 4. A lot of drivers. The whole damn field behind the leaders getting piled into it. I see Lancaster, Hastings, Swavely, one of those guys that got involved. Parker Bland gets turned into the fence head on. And folks, that right there may be the big one. We'll check it out right here on the instant replay. There you see Coffey Wilson up on the top side. Coffey, he ends up cutting down in front of Parker. And, I mean, honestly, we're going to look right here. Wow, oh, Dakota, I'm telling you, that's close right there, honestly. That is very, very close as to, you know, really who initiated it. Looked like they actually kind of met in the middle, to be honest.
Yeah, there's unfortunately wasn't a whole lot of room right there, and that's the nature of the beast with super speedway racing.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
let's look and see if Stephen Harlow maybe got a push on Parker Bland if we could get back to Steve Harlow's camera view.
That's a possibility. I mean, you know, for a second, from the way I was looking at it, I really didn't think, you know, that Parker ended up coming up. But, you know, from what I'm seeing right here, we'll see if Harlow, there you see right there. There goes Coffey. He comes down. There's air. Nope. Looked like Parker just lost it. I mean, honestly, I think he was trying to keep it in the middle. And then all of a sudden, boom, he just went straight up. And there's Blaine Wilson, and then all hell ends up breaking loose. There you see Lancaster get spun around. Bishop, he slides by with Lutenslager. How about that? There you see Johnny Shade trying to hold it. Trying to hold on, trying to get around it. But major pile-up right here coming off of turn 4. Wow, there you see Hastings. We're right on board with him. And, folks, I'm going to tell you right now, he took a hell of a hit. So if you've got any young viewers, might want to hold their eyes, because I'm telling you right now, this is not a pretty sight right here riding on with Hastings. Check it out. Wow, very, very violent all the way around. Gets slammed around. Wow, yes, I'm telling you. Oh man, I'm telling you, folks, I'm telling you, I give you the warning. If you didn't hold your kids' eyes right there and they start having nightmares, do not send your stuff to redneckannouncer@gmail.com. Do not do it. I'm not held responsible. But Timothy Stubblefield, he's going to hold on to the race lead after basically, like I said, all hell ended up breaking loose back there in the back. So Stubblefield's going to hold on. Coffee, a couple of drivers actually down pit road. So looks like it's going to be Bishop up here with Kivett. How about this? How about this right here, guys? Tony Kivett started 18th, up to 6th, or 3rd, excuse me, or 2nd. 3rd, actually. I'm reading two damn leaderboards here. Kivett sitting in 3rd right now. How about this right here, Dakota? He may end up playing a big-time spoiler out of this thing when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where did he come from things, and it's going to be interesting to see. I think there's only maybe 7 clean trucks on the track right now, so it's going to be interesting to see, if those 7 trucks break away, or if some of these damaged ones can link up and try to get something done. So I think we're in for one hell of a finish.
We always are at Daytona, and Chuck. I mean, I'm gonna put you on the hot. I'm gonna put you on the hot seat right here, brother. And I know you don't like being on the hot seat, but I'm gonna kind of throw it to you right here. I know you don't. I know you don't like to make picks. I know you don't like to make picks. So I mean, I might be. Hopefully, I don't end up pissing you off doing this. But who are we thinking right here that's gonna get the win here this evening, right here?
Well, I felt better when Charlie Stevens and Lokovich were synced up tandem, but I've raced for Charlie Stevens for a long time, a lot of seasons in a lot of leagues, and this guy knows how to get it done as well. And I've raced with him on super speedways and many other tracks, but that's going to be my pick. I'm going to go for Charlie. He's smart, he's patient, and he's going to be my pick.
All right, Dakota, what you thinking?
I picked Timothy Stubblefield at the start of the race, and he's in a good spot to make me look like a freaking genius. So I'm gonna stick with Stub Nation. I know we usually say Stub Nation stand up, but y'all might want to sit down and gather your wits about you for a second, because we're fixing to go back green.
Yeah, I was actually gonna go with Timothy Stubblefield myself. He's got that drive, y'all. He's got that drive. Finished second as we talked about in the Goat Locker thing, at the Goat Locker race here at Daytona, this past Friday night. I mean, he's got that drive. He's got, reason, obviously, try to make it into the championship 6, but coming so close at Daytona, and it's something that I've talked about all broadcast. To win at Daytona, it doesn't make a damn if it's real, virtual, league race, the NIS Daytona 500, it does not matter. You win a race at Daytona, and you remember it for the rest of your life. I mean, you can honestly say, you know what? It may have not been real, but by God, I won at Daytona. So I think Timothy Stubblefield, he's going to see if he can taste that victory here tonight. Pace car is off. Stub Nation going to lead him to the green flag. He's got Jorgensen all over the back bumper. Bishop, wow, not a good restart. Tony Kivett is going to get jacked up back there as well with Stephen Harlow. Wow, not a good restart on the top side as now everybody's starting to bail out from that top lane. Kivett jumped down. Bishop, he's got Stephen Harlow right behind him trying to give him that shove. But here's a driver. We talked to him a while ago, Dakota, and during the race while he was racing. Richard Swavely up here, sitting in 6th right now. He may end up having something to say about this. Granted, he is the strategic guy out of the series. He may have something to say about trying to put some of that strategy to good use and go out here and try to get the win here tonight in Daytona.
Yeah, for sure. We see Meps on the side of that thing, and we're gonna crack a dad fishing joke. He's tying a plug on. He's gonna try to reel these boys in right here.
That's right. Hook, line, and sinker. Try to reel them in. As we already said, Charles Stevens, he tried to jump to the top. Kivett was gonna go with him. It ends up hanging him out. They're going to get into it. Swavely gets into it. Stevens goes around. Bishop goes around. Bunch of drivers getting involved back here. There's Coffee. He gets involved as well as we have another caution. Wow, Josh Lunkovich, how about that drive right there? to be able to lock it down and not T-bone Charles Stevens right there. But we have another caution here on the Speedway.
And once again, you caused me to have a broadcaster jinx.
Oh, man, I am so sorry.
Hey, it looked like somebody was going to go. The 14 was going to go with him. He jumped out, and the 14 looked like he was going, and yeah, it just didn't work out.
Wow. I don't know. Wow. What a move right there by Bishop. He was coming. He was literally, we'll just go ahead and call it like I see it, folks. He was hauling ass coming in there. Granted, he had a shove from Eric Schaefer, who's numerous laps down here in this race, and he was shoving him, and they just caught right up to, Charles Stevens, nowhere for him to really go. And Dakota, I'm looking at it. You'll see it right here, riding on board with Bishop right here. Looks like, oh man, that's one of them things, I guess, where they met in the middle, but it kind of looked like Bishop came up and got into Charles and he's the one that kind of initiated all of it and spun him around.
Yeah, I think the 14 of Bishop actually had a pretty good solid run there, getting a push from Eric Schaefer, of all people, and he just shot to the inside, and Charlie Stevens come down a little bit. Don't know if he was wanting to make a block or try to get linked up with them, but it's just a bad deal all around.
Yeah, it's a bad deal all around, folks. It's gonna really tighten it up right here. That's one thing, that I was talking about. Y'all, everybody's heard me say it before. Everybody, that's heard me broadcast before. All the drivers, they know it. I'm sure they know it 100%. This is when intensity picks up. This is when the energy level picks up 9 ways to Sunday right here. When all hell ends up breaking loose, if it hadn't already at this point, folks. This is when it gets crazy right here. When your give a damn goes out the window and goes out there in the parking lot or goes in the pits, the garage, whatever. There's a win at Daytona on the table, Chuck, and these guys know that. And, if we hadn't already saw aggressive racing, we're about to see it right here in this next 5 laps.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned it. I don't care if it's real life, virtual, or whatever. To say that you won at Daytona, it's the significance of this place. But also, this has more on the line than just winning at this venue. They're going to old Atlanta in 2 weeks for the Winter Series championship. So there's a lot on the line, regardless of just wanting to win at this venue. So yeah, tighten them belts, guys.
It's going to be a good one out there, as we still got the pace lights is still on right now. Kind of go ahead and give you a rundown pretty much of everybody round right here in the top 10. Timothy Stubblefield, he's sitting there pretty good. He's got Stub Nation on the back bumper. He's got the lead. Matthew Jorgensen, talk to him, trying to do something, trying to get something, trying to make something happen. We'll see what happens right on this restart. He's going to restart second. Shabe White, he's going to restart third. Obviously locked into the playoffs. He's got it dicked. He's in good shape to go all the way to Old Atlanta next week. So no worry there. Tony Kivitt, talked about him, started 18th. He's up to 4th. He didn't even qualify. He didn't even put a lap time down. You can do that at Daytona and be able to try to pull it off. I've seen it done numerous times. Hell, I've done it myself. But Tony Kivitt up here sitting in 4th. And Richard Swavely, talked about him a while ago. He's sitting in 5th. He's going to be in prime position to try to get up there and get this win here tonight at Daytona. Stephen Harlow, he's going to restart 6th. Adam Lancaster, wow, he's been like a damn pinball here tonight, and he's still sitting in 7th, so good man for him to drive it back up there. Craig Lutenslager, he's up here in 8th. Christopher Bishop in 9th, and how about Blaine Wilson? He's back here in 10th, but check out who's behind him. It's Alex Coffey. Alex Coffey in 11th, from what I'm seeing on my side of it. Coffey's going to be up here with Wilson. Wow, I'm telling you, this might get a little bit interesting right here with Coffey and Wilson, because these two guys, they know they want to get up there and hit that top side, Dakota. There's a good possibility these two guys might play spoiler right here before this thing's all said and done.
Yeah, we've seen them two link up and rocket to the front on several occasions tonight. So, we'll see if they got one more in them and like you said, try to play spoiler right here.
It's like I said, folks, anything is possible. quote that from Kevin Garnett when he was playing for the Boston Celtics. Yes, yes, folks. A redneck can watch basketball. Yes, they can. I've played basketball when I was in high school, one of my favorite sports. But it's like he said, anything is possible. And you know what? Right after he said that, he won the championship. I mean, well, actually, right before he said that, he ended up winning the championship, said in the post-game press conference. Don't hate. But anyway, Timothy Stubblefield, he's up here at the front. Jorgensen up here. And Shane White's going to be right behind him. Like I said, it's going to get interesting right here. I got a feeling, Dakota, we was talking about Timothy Stubblefield. Me and you kind of picked him. I got my eye on that number 7 right now because I'm telling you, he's up here. He's got a shot right here. He's got a shot to get this sucker done. And I love to see upset victories. It's a good possibility Tony Kivitt can get it here tonight. Pace car is off. Timothy Stubblefield, Jorgensen up here on the front row. White, Kivitt, and Richard Swavely, the top 5. Green flag is in the air. 5 laps to go here at Daytona. Who's going to win it? Who's going to be in that championship 6 next week at Old Atlanta? Only time will tell. Matthew Jorgensen, he's going to get a hell of a run. He's going to get a shot from Shane White, Stephen Harlow on the top side, and Stubblefield still trying to get up to speed, trying to get Tony Kivitt to give him the shove, but now everybody finally up to speed. Jorgensen, he gets slammed a little bit by Shane White. Harlow right behind him as well. Now, White, he gets clear. He jumps down. Harlow almost comes down into Stubblefield as Matthew Jorgensen has found himself at the front here at Daytona.
Yeah, the proverbial pay window is open, and you can probably throw all these names in a hat and just pick one, and that's probably going to be who wins it because you just never freaking know.
Yep, anything is possible, like I keep saying right here. We'll see what happens. White trying to figure out which lane he wants to block. Harlow jumps down. He almost gets turned by Matthew Jorgensen, but he's able to hold on to it. And how about Luke Slager up there on the top side trying to get the shove from the lap car of Eric Schaefer. Charles Stevens up here as well. Holy hell, they are going at it here at Daytona. They're racing like they are on a quarter-mile dirt track, just digging right here. But now, Jorgensen, he's going to take a shot. He's going to get up to Harlow's side. He's going to get down real tight on his door as now they're slipping, sliding back there. Looked like that was Charles Stevens trying to hold on. Wow, what a save.
Did you see that save? What an amazing save. That's got to be the save of the season right there.
Wow, what a save back there by Charles Stevens, able to hold on to that bad boy. As Jorgensen, he's going to get by. Now here comes Luton Slater. Still getting the shove from Eric Schaefer, who is 34 laps down, but still can play a factor here in this race, given that number 13, all he can handle right now. Jorgensen, Lutenslager going for the lead. If Lutenslager gets clear, he may jump down, may stay up there with Schaefer, and Tony Kivitt up here on the top side as they go into 3.
And I don't think I have breathed, these last 2 laps. This is absolutely nuts.
It's a credit to everybody in this field, in this series, all winter series long. These guys have put on a great show week in and week out.
Everybody trying to hold formation right now. Jorgensen trying to figure out which lane he may want to try to block. It looks like Lutenslager's going to slip back just a little bit. Almost gets turned by Schaefer. Schaefer tried to keep it up into the fence. Kivitt back there as well. And Harlow, here comes Stubblefield. Stubblefield jumps up, but he's got no help. He has absolutely no help back here as Charles Stevens tries to push him up, try to give him some side draft. Kivitt tries to get a run, maybe try to jump up here and give him a shove. But here we come off of turn number 4. Coming to the white flag bell lap. If they make it back to the white flag, we'll see if they can make it back, and they do. Last lap, Matthew Jorgensen holding on to the lead. Shane White right behind him. Harlow, here comes Richard Swavely. Charles Stevens, he's going to try to give him that shove. Almost turns him, he turned Swavely. He turned him, and now Jorgensen's gone. He's got Shane White right behind him. Stephen Harlow trying to hook up. Everybody piling up back in the field. 3-truck breakaway straightaway trying to get gone right here, as Jorgensen may have this sucker in the bag if he can keep it held on. Shane White may end up trying to play spoiler once again, as Stephen Harlow may end up figuring out which one he wants to go with. Coming off of turn 4, Matthew Jorgensen tries to keep it pinned down to the bottom. Shane White, don't even try to pass him. How about that? Matthew Jorgensen is going to win it here at Daytona.
Man, that was absolutely freaking crazy.
Wow, me too. I don't even know what to say. Wow.
Holy hell, folks, what a finish. I'm about out of breath. Wow, what a finish. Matthew Jorgensen. There you see him right there. Honestly, if it was me right there, I'd be jumping up and down a little bit more than what he's doing and not just sitting tight. I would be jumping around all over in the seat, but Matthew Jorgensen gets the win. White didn't even try to pull out and pass him, helped him out, got him into that championship 6. So Harlow will finish 3rd. How about Blaine Wilson end up getting 4th, and Alex Coffey? Both of those guys, I mean, they was going to make a charge to the front, but, I mean, hell, I mean, they end up getting top 5s out of it, so not bad. We're going to see how these burnouts turn out right here for Matthew Jorgensen right here. Go ahead and watch him burn it down as we get ready to be talking to some of these guys after everything gets burned out. And here we go. Jorgensen burning it down right here in the grass. You know he is psyched up about this win right here, folks.
Yeah, that slide right there is shades of Dale Earnhardt when he won a 500 right there. You know, I've known Jorgensen for a long time. He is absolutely freaking pumped.
Absolutely. He's going to burn it down right there on the front straightaway. Good drive by the number 51 to get the win. And folks, he has etched his name winner at Daytona for Matthew Jorgensen. How about that? Folks, we're going to catch our breath real quick. Everybody sit tight. Watch these commercial break real quick, and we will be right back with post-race festivities and try to get some points for you, let you know who's going to be in that championship 6 next week at Atlanta. Don't go anywhere.
Let's meet the supply chain technology lineup. Coil machines, a powerful combination of access, control, and traceability. Sensor devices, take what you need, the device reports who, what, and how much. Multi-use lockers, vend bulk items, manage assets, and pick up orders. And electronic bins, avoid stockouts with 24/7 inventory monitoring. The key to the game, a local blue team to keep your supply chain moving full speed ahead. Fastenal, where industry meets innovation.
Well, folks, welcome back. Welcome back to Daytona. Wow, you have just saw one hell of a finish to get everything lined up for the championship 6. Wow, what a finish. I'm telling you, I mean, absolutely crazy. I mean, we've been sitting up here during a commercial break. We've been watching Jorgensen just absolutely just keep burning it down. And, Dakota, as you was talking about, he's had a rough go of it, but able to get out here, lead the last lap, and get the win. There you see the results. Matthew Jorgensen gets the win. Shane White, he's, like I said, he's locked in. I'm sure he helped out Jorgensen to give him that win right there. Obviously Shane could have made the pass, but Shane White's going to end up getting second. Stephen Harlow will get third. Blaine Wilson fourth. Alex Coffey fifth. How about Tony Kivitt? Talked about him a while ago. 18th up to sixth, and not to count out with with Blaine Wilson. He started 16th. He finished fourth, so good deal for that right there. All the way back to Craig Lutenslager, started third, ends up finishing seventh, so good run for him. Johnny Shade, he ends up finishing eighth. Josh Lunkovitz, ninth. And Stub Nation, Timothy Stubblefield rounds out the top 10. And Kyle Benson will get 11th. Christopher Bishop will get 12th. Charles Stevens, unfortunately for him, he ends up getting 13th. Richard Schwavely gets 14th. Parker Bland gets 15th. They was the last driver to finish on the lead lap. Adam Lancaster, after getting caught up in one too many wrecks, he was caught up in a lot of them tonight. He ends up finishing 16th. Jason Hastings will finish 17th. Eric Schaefer 18th, and Jesse Neclia will finish 19th. And that's the 19 truck field here tonight. For this race, and we're going to go ahead and bring on in the winner. Believe he's had enough of doing all the burnouts, I'm sure. We're going to bring him in. Matthew Jorgensen. How about that, brother? Talked to you a while ago, mid-race and everything. And you tried something, brother. You tried it, and you made it work. How's it feel?
Good. It was very nerve-wracking on the bottom. I know I got to exit to go down low if something happens up top, but it's still nerve-wracking. I like the top, and I took a chance down low, so it worked out thanks to Shane and everything he does. He pushed me all the way to the win, so mad props to him.
Absolutely. And now, obviously, we talked about, what it means to win at Daytona, whether it's real or virtually. I mean, it is a big deal to win at Daytona. I've won here myself, and you've won here now yourself. But now you've got to completely shift focus. I mean, went through all the hell tonight. Now, next week, you're racing for a championship. You are racing in the Championship 6 at Old Atlanta for the Fastenal Winter Series. I'm telling you, brother. What are you feeling about that right now?
It's actually been a wild year. In the late mods, I had some issues. It was a long first couple series of cars, and I'm glad I got it together in the trucks and made it happen because it's not like me to not try my hardest and not give up. So yeah, no, I want to thank everybody for hanging with me and giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, Matthew Jorgensen, appreciate the time. Congratulations on the win. And before we let you go, I know you've thanked everybody for hanging with you, but is there anybody else that you want to thank that made this win here tonight at Daytona possible?
All the broadcasters, all the commentators, everybody that puts all their hard work into it. Chris Progar did a great job this year with this whole series. I've been an admin with Dakota in a previous series with him, and I know what he goes through. So, mad props to him about setting all this stuff, and yeah, I hope the best for him.
Matthew Jorgensen, congratulations on the win at Daytona. We'll be talking to him next week. I got a feeling, he finally got that monkey off his back, finally got the win. So I'm sure he's gonna be one of the big time contenders next week at Atlanta. But we're gonna go ahead and bring in a second place finisher, Dakota. You standing by with your man right now, Shane White. Take it away.
Yeah, Shane, this is your favorite crew chief and the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
How's it going, guys?
Well, I was sitting in your pre-race team meeting, and you said that your main goal was to, if you couldn't win, get another one of your teammates into the championship 6. And it come to fruition, and you got Jorgensen in with a beautiful push. So let's kind of unpack your night there.
Yeah, I mean, we started with the best field position you could ask for. And when you're up front every week and you're trying to keep the lead, not wanting the lead is something new. And that was definitely something that I was feeling tonight throughout the race, especially at the end there. I was like, look, you guys need to be in front of me. I don't need to be up here. But at the end of the day, we were able to get one of our guys up front. I hate it for Charles and I hate it for Stubblefield, but I'd rather get one in than none in. They were pretty much all in a must-win position, and I knew that. And they knew that. But we got the Simrad Market number 27 Toyota. That was a throwback. Chevrolet Silverado up front, and got them some good TV time. At the end of the day, we got a teammate in the Champ Six, and it's always nice to have friendly faces when you get to that kind of pressure.
Yeah, for sure. It's just a absolutely perfect night for you and Jorgensen, and some of the other full lock racing and big fish guys had some bad luck, but y'all are head into the championship race, and kind of don't give away your secrets, but I kind of know you're going to do whatever it takes to win that championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough car and track combo. You hear Atlanta and you think the super speedway, but it wasn't too many years ago where it was one of the most, the roughest and egregious tracks out there, and that's what we're going to be on. So, you got a very tough car, a very abrasive car on a very tough and abrasive track. So it's definitely going to be a challenge. That's the first thing I told Jorgensen when he won. I said, enjoy the moment, but you got to get to work. I said, you can't just, you can't just hang out for the next 2 weeks because we're off next week. I said, you got to put your head down and get to work. I got you here, but you got to bring it home. So, there's no favors. In the championship six race, it's six guys going head to head, and you know, like I said, we'll bring out all the stops, put in all the effort, and hopefully we'll bring home the championship.
Yes, sir. Well, before we get into tomorrow night in the Cup race, I'll let you run through your sponsors. I know people who keep that number 27 looking good. So who you got?
Yeah, I mean, Simrad Market. I mean, I say it every week, it seems, but they've been phenomenal. They continue to be phenomenal. I'm excited to show what we've got coming out for the Sunoco Cup Series Spring Series. All those schemes look amazing, and I can't wait to release them. But Team Watson Racing setups, Rich Marr Florist, Christie's Auto Sales in Danville, Virginia, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and of course Full Lock Racing and Jesse Whittington. They give me the opportunity to do what I love every week. And they give me fast race cars and good advice and all that stuff every week, and I can't thank them all enough. So, this season's been phenomenal, and we'll do it again tomorrow night with you on the box. So hopefully, you give me some good tips, and then we'll roll right into spring at the end of February and not look back.
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you go. Let you unpack it. Try to keep Jorgensen calm. Keep him keep him laser
I don't think I
focused.
can do that.
Keep him laser focused the next 2 weeks, and we'll see you at Atlanta.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, guys.
Wow. Awesome to hear that right there. I mean, Shane White obviously gets second place. I mean, he seems like he's pretty pumped up for a lot of racing here in the near future, Dakota. That's awesome to hear. But we'll go ahead and bring in the third place driver, Stephen Harlow, and Chuck, you're standing by with him.
Hey, Stephen, it's Chuck Pegleg Phelps up here in the booth. How you doing tonight, good sir?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good now, aren't I? How are you doing?
Yeah, doing well, but probably not as good as you. So, hey, this will be broad questions. One, take us through your race. You were forward and back and left and right and some hairy moments and then some just kind of calm moments and then power you into P3. So tell us, just talk to us about your race real quick.
Yeah, where to start? Well, first off, I have no idea how to qualify at plate tracks. That's kind of been established over in the Cup Series. I just flounder and see what I can do. So I just wanted to get good stage points in the first stage, and somehow I got to the front. I have no idea. And then second stage, most of the start of it was pretty chill. I was just trying to get connected up with Parker the whole time because she's my only teammate, and the more friends you have at this place, the better. So
Right.
she made her way up to me, up to the front, and we just sort of were talking strategy for a while, if it would go green. And then the wreck started happening. It was just survival most of the way.
I got you. Yeah, that is the way super speedways could be sometimes, survival. So All right, so question number 2, real quick.
Yep.
How do you feel about going into Atlanta in 2 weeks? Not next week. You got the week off, and then
Yep.
2 weeks. Old Atlanta. Remember, it's old, not the new. What do you
Yeah.
feel about that? Me personally, I love that track. That's my favorite track, Old Atlanta. So, what are your thoughts
Yes.
on Old Atlanta?
Old Atlanta is so much fun. I love tracks that get really, really wide once the tires wear out. Places like Kansas are just my bread and butter, where I can get up to the wall. Old Atlanta's a blast because it wears out the tires, and you have to be nice to the tires, even if you're doing a 20 lap run. It's just you
Yes,
have to
sir.
take care of them.
It's a Willman track.
Absolutely. That's the one thing I feel really confident with is taking care of tires when they wear out quick. So I
Well,
think
all
it'll be a
right.
good time. I'm excited for it.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like that's your wheelhouse. No pun intended, because you got to be a wheel man, and I'm with you. I love
Something
Old
like it.
Atlanta. It's my favorite. It's my favorite track. It used to be. With that being said,
Yeah.
congratulations, Ed. Who do you have to thank? All your sponsors, teammates, etc. Give us some love to those people.
Oh, this is gonna be a list. I gotta write it down, I swear. I want to thank Warrior Soar, Team Watson Racing Setups, Project Hopner. Those are the 3 big ones that have really just supported me as long as I've been in this league, really. Um, some of them are new. Team Watson Racing Setups has been with me from the start, and they've been amazing. James is a really cool guy. Love him. I want to say thank you to Ross for making this sick paint scheme for this truck, and pretty much every paint scheme he makes is gold. So big shout out to him. I gotta thank my family for watching at home, and of course my girlfriend who's asleep in her room right now. She lets me do all this crazy stuff and be loud, go crazy when I win, or yell like crazy when something doesn't go my way. So big thanks to her, especially.
Well, all right, there you go. Thank you, and good luck in 2 weeks, good friend.
Awesome. Thank you, Chuck.
You're very welcome, sir.
Well, all right, folks, we have the Championship 6, but before we do that, we got to thank the sponsors, man. Got to thank the sponsors for putting on this awesome series here this evening, and that we've had all season long. Obviously, gotta talk. I mean, Fastenal. Fastenal. Appreciate them. Obviously the title sponsor of the Fastenal Winter Series. Appreciate Fastenal for everything that they do. SimWrapMarket.com. Go to SimWrapMarket.com for all your paint needs. Also sponsored by MPI, proud sponsor of the MPI Xfinity Series. And finally, Martin Sports, proud sponsor of the Fastenal Winter Series. Some for folks, from what it's looking like here for the points, go ahead and get that lined up. But before we get to that, go ahead and just make y'all wait just maybe a little bit longer. We'll go ahead and bring in my colleagues, Dakota Wilson, Chuck Phelps. And Dakota, I'll start with you. I mean, what's the, just go ahead and just break it down for us, brother. I mean, the race here tonight, your take on it.
I mean, it was just absolutely bonkers start to finish. We had a bunch of different players up front, and we seen them get shuffled to the back, and we seen Alex Coffey and his teammates make 4, 5, 6 hellacious runs to the front, really strut their stuff. And then we thought Timothy Stubblefield would win it there, for a good bit, and then at the end, Shane White pushing Matthew Jorgensen to his first win in a long time. I know it was very long overdue. I've known Jorgensen for a long time, and I couldn't be any prouder of him.
10-4 on that, Chuck. We'll go ahead and your final thoughts here tonight at Daytona.
Well, again, to piggyback off of what you and Dakota both said, good hard race. It was a wild card. It's always a wild card, but I just want to slightly super quick push forward to next week. That could be a wild card in itself because it is old Atlanta.
Folks, I'm telling you right now, Daytona, it does not disappoint. It never disappoints. Matthew Jorgensen gets the win and gets himself into that Championship 6. And I know everybody's been sitting there waiting. Here's the Championship 6 drivers. Shane White, Alex Coffey, Matthew Jorgensen, Kyle Benson, Eric Schaefer, and Stephen Harlow. That is the Championship 6. That's the 6 drivers that's going to be running for the championship next week at Old Atlanta. Folks, I'm telling you, it's going to be a blast. I mean, it really is. I absolutely love that place that we're going to be at. Actually, we're going to be there in 2 weeks. I keep saying next week. We're going to end up taking a week off, and then we'll be right here. There you see it right there, folks. This is what stands in front of those 6 drivers. Who's going to win it all for the Fastenal Winter Series Championship? Could be any of those 6 drivers. All 6 of them's got a shot. We'll see what happens here in 2 weeks. 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time here on the V-Speed Racing Network. Everybody that is involved with the Fastenal Winter Series, Chris Brogard, Dakota Curtis, everybody that's involved, thank them so much for everything that they do. Also want to thank V-Speed Racing Network. Eddie Smith put on some hellacious camera angles tonight. He done a fantastic job, so appreciate Eddie doing the camera angles and giving us all the good stuff, because that's what we love. We love to see all the good stuff. For Chuck Phelps, Dakota Wilson, I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Folks, it's all come down to Old Atlanta here in 2 weeks. Everybody be safe, be kind, be fast. We'll see you in 2 weeks.